The Great Battery Betrayal. How leaking cells rob us, ruin heirlooms, and why we must fight back. Introduction. The silent killer inside your home. Every night, millions of us perform a sacred ritual. We set our alarms, we plug in our phones, and we place the television remote gently on the armrest. What we don't realize is that nestled inside that remote and inside our cherished flashlights, digital cameras, smoke detectors, and children's vintage toys is a silent ticking time bomb. It doesn't explode. It's worse. It quietly, insidiously commits murder by corrosion. It is the alkaline battery, and for decades, its hidden flaw has been destroying our precious devices at an alarming rate. I have seen the battlefield scars. I have spoken to the grieving owners of dead electronics. I have held the circuit boards, eaten away by a chalky, corrosive white substance. Let's be honest with ourselves. We are working hard for our money, and we are tired of buying batteries for our precious, expensive electronics, only to find them ruined by leaking fluid. We pour our earnings into cameras to capture our children's graduation. We invest in pricey smart locks to secure our homes. We trust our parents' vintage flashlights to hold memories of camping trips gone by. Then, we insert a Duracell or an Energizer of brand we've been trained to trust and forget about it. Months later, we return to an electronic corpse. The global alkaline battery market is valued at over $7.4 billion. While manufacturers tout leak-resistant designs, the reality for consumers is a 1980s era liability loophole that leaves us holding the bill for their flawed chemistry. Can you remember a specific device, perhaps one with sentimental value, that was killed by a silent corrosive ooze? The alchemy of destruction, why alkaline is a risk. To understand why our devices are dying, we must look at the science. Inside a standard alkaline battery lies a powerful, ruthless chemical cocktail. The primary culprit is potassium hydroxide, Co. In the safety data sheets of battery manufacturers, Co. comes with severe warnings. Corrosive to many metals and to tissue, causes severe burns, and corrosive to bodily tissues by all routes of exposure. Under normal conditions, this caustic material remains sealed. However, as batteries age or are drained in low-power devices, like remote controls, clocks, or decorative lights, gas builds up inside the steel casing. The critical failure point is the seal. Once the internal pressure compromises the seal, the potassium hydroxide escapes. The chemical onslaught? 1. The leak. The liquid electrolyte seeps out of the battery. 2. The spread. Because it is electrochemically active, the fluid flows across the metal terminals of your device. 3. The destruction. It rapidly corrodes copper tracks, dissolves solder joints, and oxidizes switches. According to a 2025 study on battery failures, electrolyte leakage poses serious safety risks by shortening service life and elevating the risk of thermal runaway. Even more deceptive timing? Batteries do not need to be dead to leak. Common discussions among engineers note that alkalines can leak perfectly well when stored in their original packaging or fresh from the shop, and that the tendency to leak is increased with high power and longer life battery formulations. The batteries that are marketed to last longer in your toys are chemically engineered to be more volatile. Question: knowing that the high power formula that keeps your game controller working longer also makes it statistically more likely to leak and destroy that controller, are you willing to bet $50 of hardware to save $2 on battery packs? The digital graveyard, losing memories, not just money. The financial loss is infuriating, but the emotional loss is devastating. We live in a digital age where our treasures are not heavy gold. They are light ones and zeros stored in memory cards. While writing this article, I reviewed consumer complaints. A mother used alkaline batteries in her digital photo frame, containing the last images of her late father. One battery leaked, spilling caustic fluid into the South Dakota card slot and thoroughly dissolving the South Dakota card's metal connectors. The manufacturer's response was a form letter offering a $2 coupon for a new battery pack. What price can you put on a memory that no longer exists? Tech forums are littered with the casualties. A technician noted that of 12 devices tested in a shop, including multimeters and flashlights, 3 were alkaline victims. An $8 work light had white ooze. A $25 amp clamp multimeter is gone forever because alkaline slime ate the circuit board. When a battery leaks in a high-end camera, replacing the camera body costs hundreds or thousands of dollars. Yet, the battery manufacturer guarantees their product under strict liability only if it is proven that the battery was not misused. How do you prove you didn't misuse a battery when you simply left it in a device? That is considered normal usage, but companies use it as a loophole to deny claims. Furthermore, there is a health angle rarely discussed. While we handle leaking batteries with a napkin, we are unaware that the dust and fluoride-based compounds from failing cells can enter the air we breathe. Reports on battery hazards note that hydrogen fluoride (HF) gas released during severe failures can cause severe respiratory distress, skin burns and eye irritation. Critical pause. Does the risk of breathing in toxic corrosive dust during cleanup ever cross your mind as you throw a corroded toy into the trash? The Great Guarantee Fraud, Fine Print Liberation. Most consumers buy Duracell or Energizer because they believe in the guaranteed not to leak promise. Let us examine the reality of that guarantee. Energizer claims that its ultimate lithium batteries are guaranteed not to leak. For their alkaline range, Max, they offer a no-leak guarantee that promises to repair or replace the device damaged by a leak. Duracell offers a guarantee. Should any device be damaged due to a battery defect, we will repair or replace it at our option. So why aren't you getting paid? Because of the at our option clause and the denial traps. 1. The misuse clause. If the device is old, dusty, or shows any sign of wear, the manufacturer can claim the battery leaked because the device was modified or abused. 2. The shipping burden. You must pay to ship the heavy, corroded, leaking battery and the destroyed device to their inspection center. If they deny your claim, which they often do, you have lost your device and paid for shipping. 3. The denial rates. Consumer complaint aggregators are flooded with testimonies. Duracell will limit replacement to batteries alone and not cover the item, and I sent photos to Energizer, and then they told me there is no warranty. In fact, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, once ruled that using the term leak-proof for dry cell batteries could be considered deceptive because it leads purchasers to believe there is no need for periodic inspection. The rule was later repealed, implying the industry successfully argued that leak-proof is a flexible marketing term, not a technical guarantee. Questioning your purchase. If you cannot trust the words leak-proof and guaranteed on a product because there is no legal liability to enforce them, what exactly are you paying a premium for? The double standard, lithium is the solution they hide. Here is the ultimate insult to our intelligence. The technology to create a truly safe leak-proof battery already exists. It is sitting on the shelf next to the alkaline batteries you are buying. It is called lithium iron disulfide, LiFeS2. Why is this battery a savior? 1. Construction. LiFeS2 cells use a spiral construction sealed with PVDC film or welded stainless steel, unlike alkaline's single crimped seal. It is a tank compared to a soda can. 2. Chemistry. Unlike potassium hydroxide, LiFeS2 electrolytes are often absorbed in a solid matrix, meaning there is no flowing liquid to leak out and destroy your device. 3. The data. Energizer's own marketing says ultimate lithium batteries are 100% leak-proof based on standard use and last up to 25 years in storage. So, if the safe technology exists, why do stores shove alkaline batteries in your face for 70% of their shelf space? Profit. Alkaline batteries are cheap to manufacture and have a high turnover rate. They expire and leak, forcing repurchase. The lithium iron disulfide market is rising, but it remains a specialty product. They refuse to make the leak-safe technology standard because a battery that doesn't ruin your device is a battery you buy less frequently. Wake-up call? You are being forced to buy an unsafe, corrosive product, alkaline, while the safe, non-toxic alternative, lithium, exists and is proven. Why do we accept this downgrade? Where is the law? The regulatory sleepwalk. We rely on laws to protect us from products that cause harm. Yet, the battery industry navigates a web of loopholes. USA. The FTC focuses on Made in USA labels and deceptive made claims, but there is little active regulation mandating a mandatory standard for leak-free design. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, CPSC, deals with fire and explosion risks from lithium-ion, but mostly ignores the cold, slow corrosion caused by alkalines because it is considered inconvenience rather than crisis. EU. The new Product Liability Directive, PLD, 2024-2853 shifts the burden of proof. If your device is destroyed, Article 7 argues that the product, the battery, is considered defective if it leaks under normal use. The manufacturer must now prove it wasn't their fault. UK. Under the Consumer Protection Act 1987, manufacturers are strictly liable for damage caused by defective products. If a battery leaks and ruins a £500 radio, you can claim compensation. The catch? You must pay for the claim, and the legal process takes months. The irony? In 2025, a child can swallow a button battery and suffer internal burns. Hospitals have protocols for that. But if an adult worker suffers a chemical burn on their hand from a leaking AA battery while changing a smoke detector, employers and manufacturers often classify it as a minor incident. The safety data sheet for potassium hydroxide explicitly states: ingestion may cause intestinal perforation. Contact with concentrated solution may result in severe burns. The moral question: why are we more legally protected from the battery inside a dinosaur toy ruining the toy than we are from a leaking heater battery burning our skin? The class action graveyard, consumers fighting back. Consumers have tried to fight back through the courts. The history is grim. Apple Watch, 2024-2025. A $20 million class action settlement was approved for Apple Watches whose batteries swelled and cracked the screen. While this is a victory, it addresses swelling in lithium-ion rechargeables, not the corrosive leaking in 1.5V primary cells. Do It v. Eveready Battery Company, 2001 and beyond. A pivotal case where the court found that a battery bulge resulting from internal pressure constituted a breach of warranty. Yet, decades later, we still have bulging, leaking batteries on shelves. Duracell class action, 2014. A class action alleged that Duracell conspicuously failed to disclose that the Duracell batteries leak when not in use, and the leakage can damage any device. While some cases have settled, the industry standard has not changed. Why? Because paying out small settlements for individual ruined radios is cheaper than redesigning their manufacturing line to a lithium iron disulfide standard. The silent victim. The $4,000 insulin pump. I uncovered a complaint. Document ID 22.7, Duracell AA battery. Leaked into my insulin pump life maintenance device, causing damage to this $4,000 unit. The user's life-saving medical equipment was destroyed because of a 45-cent battery. Reflect on that. If a leaking battery can destroy a critical medical device with no liability for the manufacturer, how safe are your home medical monitors, scales, or thermometers? The call for action and reforming the markets. We cannot stand idly by while our memories dissolve in white powder. It is time to organize and weaponize our purchasing power. 1. Boycott alkaline in high-value devices. From today, pledge to never put an alkaline battery in any device worth more than $20. Use them only for cheap disposable items like cheap flashlights or emergency candles. 2. Switch to lithium primary or NIM rechargeable. Yes, Energizer Ultimate Lithium costs more upfront, $10 for 4 versus $5 for alkaline. But the cost of not using them is potentially a $200 device and a trip to the landfill. Better yet, use Eneloop or IKEA Lada 2450 NIM rechargeables for high-drain devices. They rarely leak. 3. Demand damage guarantee without the fine print. We need federal legislation, Consumer Battery Safety Act, mandating that a leak guarantee must pay for the full replacement cost of the device, with a $0 deductible for the consumer if the battery was used normally. 4. Support right to repair. We need laws that require battery compartments to be completely isolated from circuit boards via silicone sealants, so if a leak occurs, the fluid doesn't reach the motherboard. 5. Report every leak. If a battery ruins your device, do not throw it in the trash. Put the leaking battery in a Ziploc bag, wearing gloves, take a photo of the battery and the destroyed device, and submit a report to www.saferproducts.gov, CPSC database. Class action alert. If you have lost a device worth over $100 in the last 2 years due to an alkaline battery leak, Duracell, Energizer, Rayovac, CVS, IKEA, Amazon Basics, contact a consumer law firm. We need a class action that challenges the misuse defense. Show them your device was clean, dust-free, and used indoors. Let's make the legal docket scream. Your mission? Share this article. Send it to your state attorney general. Post a picture of your corroded device on social media. The silence of consumers is the only shield the battery companies have left. Final food for thought. You took a break during the day, perhaps while reading this, and you pulled out your smartphone. It glowed. It ran a supercomputer in your palm. It communicated with satellites. That device, which holds your bank account, your family photos, and your calendars, runs on a hermetically sealed complex lithium-ion battery that rarely leaks flammable fluid. Yet, the $1.50 battery you just bought to keep your alarm clock running? That comes from a 19th century chemical technology, Leckland cell, that the industry refuses to upgrade because it ensures your alarm clock expires and you buy a new one. We have sent rovers to Mars with nuclear batteries. We communicate with submarines using encrypted lasers. But we cannot make a standard AA battery that won't dissolve a $25 toy. Is this incompetence, or is this designed obsolescence by neglect? The battery industry knows that if every battery were 100% leak-proof, using the existing LiFeS2 design, our electronics would last for decades and battery manufacturers would sell 70% less product. So, the next time you look at that corroded mess inside your favorite device, do not ask, "Why did this happen?" Ask yourself a harder question. We work hard for our money, we protect our homes, and we guard our memories. Why do we continue to pay companies to steal our time, our devices, and our histories? Just because they refuse to seal a tin can properly? The white powder is not a mistake. It is a business model. Act accordingly. Switch to lithium today. Hold them accountable tomorrow. Number Leakgate. Number Battery Justice. Please tell me what you think and how you feel about this issue. Analyze it, brainstorm it, debate it, and if you like it, please share it. Thank you for watching. I truly and highly appreciate you, and God bless you.